All right, we are here at Thunderhill Raceway in Willows, California to test this, the 2015 Yamaha R3. We're gonna be riding today on the street, we're riding today on the track. I'm Sean from RevZilla. Can't wait to see how these things do.
The 2015 Yamaha YZF R3. This is an all-new bike for 2015. Comes alongside the R6, the 600cc Super Sport, and the R1, the 1000cc. It's powered by a 326cc parallel twin engine, which is also all new for this year, and it does use fuel injection. It's a closed-loop design.
The frame they use on this is a steel diamond type unit. The suspension they used, it's a KYB 41mm front fork set, which is non-adjustable. And the rear shock is also KYB, which is 7-step adjustable for preload only. In terms of braking, the R3 uses an Akabono 2-piston caliper, which bites a 298mm floating rotor up front. It is interesting to note that they did not include ABS. It's not an option, it's not available, not happening. The rubber on it is actually a Michelin Pilot street tire that's been specifically designed for this bike. It is a bias ply tire, which is one of the areas I'm definitely curious to get on. Yamaha said that they did it for budget purposes. They wanted to kind of get more life out of those tires. But in my mind, I mean, when you have a bike that's this capable of being sporty, there's just no reason not to go with a nicer tire on this. Ergonomically, the R3 has a seat height of 30.7 inches. The seat is actually really well designed. It's pretty flat front to back slope, and it's pretty narrow, which means that it's a really easy reach to the ground. But also, you know, given the seat height, guys like myself with a 32-inch seam, or even some of the staff here from Yamaha who are in the 6'4" range, have had no problem being on this bike and not being too cramped. All right, we're off. Morning ride, ready to keep getting to know this bike. So far, I have to say I'm pretty impressed. I've spent a lot of time on some of the other 300 singles lately, or parallel twins, between the Kawasaki Ninja and the Honda CBR 300. There really is nothing you can't say about appreciating kind of the quality in some of these Japanese bikes. And this bike really, from the ground up, the fit, the finish, gearing, the brakes, the feel. I mean, everything has that polished, you know, feel. You can tell this company's been doing bikes forever. Here we are coming up on the rest of the gang. We're got this van. This is the van with all this the Yamaha guys in it. Let's pass them, see what we can do. Get a little aerodynamic here. Piece of cake. You know, one of the worries you have on one of these small bikes is, sure, you don't need that much power, but when you need to get out of a situation, or you need to get up and move, is that power going to be there? And you can see it wasn't that long before I was up at a pretty solid passing speed. This has been a really comfortable bike so far today. I'm surprised actually. A lot of these smaller bikes, they tend to not fit so well on it. A little over 6 feet tall, of a 32-inch inseam. A lot of times I just feel big and cramped, but this bike, between these above the clamp clip-ons and everything, and it's been really nice. The other thing too is this instrument panel. This thing is honestly, it blows my mind for a bike at this price. To have a fuel gauge, to have an oil change trip meter, speedometer, tach, time, fuel consumption. Think about, you know, a new rider getting on this bike. What tools do they need? What information do they need? It's really, really helpful to have. A lot of this section so far has been pretty wide open riding, but word is that there's a section up ahead that's got some really, really nice twist stuff. This thing is just going to be absolutely perfect for. There are a few things more fun to me than try to just squeeze every ounce, every mile per hour out of a bike this size. Oh, pothole, pothole, pothole. Yeah, see? No, pothole. These roads, man, they're a good test for, you can see even as I bounce on it right now, they're a really good test for that suspension. And this thing, I mean, it's, you know, it's only just for preload, but the damping is fine. It's really comfortable. It's actually, you know, they've done a really, really good job at creating a suspension that just works. Yeah, I mean, poking around at this thing, all the controls of this thing are really, really nice. The friction zone's really easy to actuate. Good feel out of the brakes. Instrument panel is really easy to read. I love the position of these bars. They're perfect. You know, you can kind of hunker in and get real sporty, but sitting here cruising real comfortably, I mean, you know, I might as well be on an upright bike. It's really, really incredibly comfortable. All right, let's see what kind of top speed we can hit here. Try to catch up with the group here. 104, 105, 106. Does he hit 107? Does he hit 107? Does he hit 107? I didn't hit 107. That's okay. Something to shoot for later, right? Hey now, we're getting some turns here. We're finally getting some turns. Let me tell you, I am not mad about it. The tires seem to be okay. Bias ply maybe wouldn't have been my choice, but for bias ply tires, these things aren't that bad. There is some grip. They do feel nice. You can see we're all starting to lean a little bit, starting to have a little fun, starting to see how this thing does sportily. One of the things Yamaha was talking about last night was how they changed the fueling to really provide a very nice and linear and very smooth throttle feel. So that's not going to be intimidating to new riders. It's not going to catch anybody off guard. And man, this thing is so nimble. Oh, and I think I see the photographer ahead, which means fun time over. I wonder if they'll believe me if I just pass them. Like, oh, I didn't see you guys. I just rode an extra 30 miles on accident of this perfect road. I don't want to stop.
So I just finished 100 of some of the best miles I've ridden in a long time. We're here outside of Willows on Highway 162. Just really been impressed with this bike so far. Excited to see how it does. Luckily for me, the second part of the day, we're taking it to the track. So excited to see how it does there, and hopefully it's as impressive. Hopefully it keeps up and really is able to kind of be the track toy that they hope it is also.
Alright, so we spent the better part of a day riding the 2015 Yamaha R3, and I gotta tell you, man, it's been a great day, I can honestly say. I wasn't a huge fan of the Kawasaki. I thought maybe I just like riding singles better. The CBR is a great bike. I thought maybe that was just it. This thing has been such a ton of fun. It's great in the streets. It's been great for this racetrack. A lot of positives with this bike. I mean, the engine, that 320cc parallel twin, is such a good time. It revs all the way up to 12.5 RPM, and all of that is usable. Brakes are a little on the soft side, but once you get on them, the stopping power is definitely there. Suspension is absolutely budget, but for a budget suspension, they kind of have, you know, pulled the old Honda trick of, even though it's budget, it still works better than it should. Just overall, it's been an absolutely fantastic bike. In terms of negatives, there are really only two big downsides for me. One is the tires they use on these things. They're really hard. We just took a little break from the track and I went to look at kind of the wear, and while they're worn to the edges, I mean, you can just tell you don't nearly have the grip. They aren't worn nearly the ways that the Hondas were when I rode that last week on the racetrack. The second is the gearing. Mostly with the gearing between second and third. When you drop down into third, a lot of these turns on this track, the back kicks out, I mean, really, really easily. There's no slippage. The ratios of those gears make it really tough. You really have to match those well. But it's a $5,000 motorcycle. It's meant for beginners. It's really a good time.
They've waved the checkered flag. My day riding the 2015 Yamaha R3 is officially done. The staff over there has told me I have to go home, but I still have daylight, a racetrack, a wonderful motorcycle that's full of gasoline. Only thing I want to do is keep riding, but I guess not for today. I'm Sean from RevZilla. Thanks for watching.